At no time before have voters faced a clearer choice between two parties, two visions, two philosophies, or two agendas. This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny.
You know, all elections are important, but we know in our bones this one is more consequential. As many have said, America is at an inflection point, a time of real peril, but also of extraordinary possibilities. You can choose a path of becoming angrier, less hopeful, more divided, a path of shadow and suspicion, or choose a different path and together take this chance to heal, reform, to unite. This is a life-changing election. This will determine what America is going to look like for a long, long time. And the choice could not be more clear. Just judge this president on the facts.
Your vote will decide whether we protect law-abiding Americans or whether we give free rein to violent anarchists and agitators and criminals who threaten our citizens. And this election will decide whether we defend the American way of life or whether we will allow a radical movement to completely dismantle and destroy it. That won't happen.
By far the worst performance of any nation on earth. This president, if he's reelected, you know what will happen. Cases and deaths will remain far too high. Working families will struggle to get by, taking insurance away from more than 20 million people.
This is the most important election in the history of our country.
Politicians often leverage psychological concepts in their speeches to influence their audiences. We analyze the 2020 presidential nominee speeches of Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The concepts we chose to analyze are motives and moral judgments. Motives refer to underlying reasons or drives that influence an individual's political attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. In our analysis, we will discuss the motives of achievement, affiliation, and power. Moral judgments are based on 5 core moral foundations and serve as the basis for individuals' moral reasoning as well as shape their attitudes towards various social and political issues. The 5 core moral foundations are care, fairness, loyalty, authority, and sanctity.
Here are some quotes from Joe Biden's speech. The first one is, "Here and now I give you my word. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I will be an ally of the light, not of the darkness. It is time for us, for we the people, to come together. For make no mistake, united we can and will overcome this season of darkness in America." The second one says, "Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to this nation. He failed to protect us, he failed to protect America, and, my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As a president, I will make you this promise. I will protect America, I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time." And the third says, "We can and we will deal with climate change. It's not only a crisis, it's an enormous opportunity. An opportunity for America to lead the world in clean energy and create millions of new, good-paying jobs in the process." By saying, "We will overcome this season of darkness," Joe Biden is invoking prescriptive morality with the collective in mind. And by saying he has a plan to protect America, he's saying that he will be able to do something that's unprecedented, which is an example of achievement imagery. Finally, by calling the act of solving climate change an opportunity for America to lead, Biden is showing that he wants to impress the world at large, which may at first come across as achievement imagery, but it's actually power imagery.
In 2020, during Trump's presidential candidacy acceptance speech, he mentions within his speech, "They said that it would be impossible to terminate and replace NAFTA, but again they were wrong. Earlier this year, I ended the NAFTA nightmare and signed the brand new US-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. Now auto companies and other are building their plants and factories in America, not firing their employees and deserting us. In perhaps no area did the Washington special interests try harder to stop us than my policy of pro-American immigration. But I refuse to back down, and today America's borders are more secure than ever before. We ended catch and release, stopped asylum fraud, took down human traffickers who preyed on women and children, and we have deported 20,000 gang members and 500,000 criminal aliens. We have already built 300 miles of border wall, and we are adding 10 new miles every single week. The wall will soon be complete and is working beyond our wildest expectations. Be sure to take note of the highlighted sentences and these especially colored terms. Trump mentions his past acts as overcoming opposition. This is an example of power imagery, which is in direct contrast to achievement imagery, which emphasizes overcoming difficulty rather than an opposing agent. Trump also uses language that would appeal to in-group morality. Oppositions are referred to as they, and himself and his supporters he refers to as we or us. This is to appeal to an audience that considers themselves in the same group as Trump. So you have an outside group and an inside group. With the inside group wanting to protect a prescribed social order that is under threat, so says Trump, by an outside group.